Hi, I'm Andrea Herz Payne. My husband and I are co-founders of Aid Still Required, a nonprofit that champions forgotten people and issues. Do you have a big dream that you hold close to your heart? Do you have a big vision that you just haven't taken that next step on? Well, that's how I was just a few years ago. And so I want to talk to you about maybe what you can do to take a step on that big dream. So in 2004, December, the tsunami hit in Southeast Asia, and we had friends there, and we didn't hear from them for 4 days, and we didn't know if they were dead or alive. Well, fortunately for us, they did make it through. But we were so inspired to hear about all the people who were trying to make a difference there. So Hunter and I asked, what can we do? So we had this idea to put together this CD compilation. Hunter's a musician, among other things. And so we started asking friends who were independent artists. But then we started thinking, well, what if I was a big star like Paul McCartney or Sting? Wouldn't I want to get on board? Well, but we didn't know Paul McCartney or Sting. And so we thought, how are we going to ask them? So we had to start picking up the phone to call a lot of people. Well, we ended up getting a letter of support from the United Nations, President Clinton's office, for tsunami relief there. And it turned into this gorgeous project. And then we got involved in other activism and started learning about things that were happening all over the world, including a genocide that was going on in Darfur in the Sudan. Well, one night, we were just exhausted, and we were out in Malibu at a restaurant, and we saw Jay Leno and his wife across the room. Well, Hunter said to me, Andrea, we need to go talk to Jay. And I thought, oh my gosh, I'm so tired. I don't want to disturb them. They're having a quiet dinner all alone. And so we kept eating dinner, and then they started to leave, and Hunter turned to me and said, Andrea, they're leaving. Who are we doing this for? Well, before I knew it, I leapt out of my seat and was chasing Jay and his wife across the parking lot. Well, they actually talked to us for 15 minutes and listened to us as we shared our ideas and thoughts about Darfur. Well, we thought that was it. Well, and a few days later, on the show, George Clooney was on, and Jay kept on asking George about what was going on in Darfur and if he could share things that people could do to make a difference. Well, Hunter and I were sort of pinching ourselves and wondering if our conversation had anything to do with that. Well, a couple of years later, we had the opportunity to meet Jay and his wife Mavis again, and we asked him, and he said, we're the people who accosted you in the parking lot, and did we have anything to do with that? And he said, oh, absolutely. Your talking to me made that difference and on the show. So what I want to encourage you to do today, sitting there listening to me now, is to pick up the phone, take that next step, because you never know with your big dream and you taking that next step whose life you can touch. And together, with all of us taking those risks and taking that next step, together we have the power to change the world.